Hello, it's Sally here at Dotty B. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be working on my collage that I started last week, but I also want to incorporate another project that I've been working on, which is the Botanical Beauties, because it kind of ties into that. So what I have done so far is I showed you my background that I'd already made for a previous project, but I'm pinching it for this one. And I finished off my little patchwork that I did. So that's going to be placed on my piece. And then I was kind of thinking, what shall I do? I was looking for some inspiration, and I was showing, in one of my other videos, I was showing you the little book of transfers, well, not little, quite large actually, loads and loads of vintage transfers that I bought last year. They're all from the 1930s, and one of them is a cherry blossom. So I thought that would be perfect to incorporate this into the Botanical Beauties project. This is the Botanical Beauties that's being run by Corinne and Susanna. And I just thought it would be ideal. So what I've done is, as you can see, I have snipped away because I wanted to just check that the transfers still worked for a start. So I just picked off a little one here and had a go at transferring on. And that's the first. If you can see, I've done it 3 times. So that's the first one, which was brilliant. And I also got a second one out of it. And then the third one's quite faded. It probably could be used, but it's quite faded. So they work, and so I was really pleased with that. I'll pop that to one side because that was just my tester. And I started to put together my collage. So I'm thinking this is going to be like a little vase. I'm going to use it as a little vase. And I cut out some of the stems. I think here there's probably 3 or 4 different stems. There's a short one, but there's the tiny one that I've already used, which I'm not going to use on this project. So there's a short one here, a mid-length one, and then there was a long one. So I've already ironed the long one on, but I just want to show you how I'm going to do this. I've got the mid one, and well, there's a few more there as well. That was where I got the long one from, I think. So this is the mid one, which I'm going to place now. Because it's not quite, the stems don't quite go to the vase that I'm using, I'll be lengthening them, because I want the branches to kind of curve over a little bit. So that's where my next one's going. So I have got my iron. I don't have a neat little iron. I've got my clumsy iron that I do everything with. So this is just on a wool heat and with no steam. I think I turned the steam off. You shouldn't need. I'm just going to pop that out of the way for a moment. And then it's just a case of ironing it on. It's having a peek. A little bit longer. I mean, these are old transfers there. Well, I think this is from like the 1936, I think it is. So what's that? That's coming to nearly 90 years old. Wow. How bizarre is that? 90 years ago, these transfers are. All right, I think that's as good as I'm going to get that one. Okay. I'm going to just leave that on there for a moment. Let me just check this side. Yes, it's fine. And I'll do the big reveal in a minute. So probably having that there. Sorry, I'm going down too far. And then I just want these ones on here. So I'm going to kind of just place these somewhere there. I'm just going to iron this one on. Right, just a little bit longer. Right, I think that's good. I'm just going to unplug my iron for a second. Put it out the way. Right, okay. So let's have a look, the big reveal. So I'll do this one first. This is the first one that I did. So there's the first one. I'm going to keep these because although I can't feel, you can usually feel if there's any more transfer, but I'm going to keep them anyway because they're nice to, I'm sure I'll be able to do something with them. That one here hasn't quite taken, but I've got the pattern so I can see where it goes, so that's fine. It doesn't matter about that at all. Third one, there we go. So I've got the 3 branches of my cherry blossom, and that's going to be my vase that it's kind of going in. So that's how I'm kind of doing that. So yeah, quite pleased with that. It looks good, doesn't it? Right, so next step is I'm not going to paint just because I don't really want to, and also I'm kind of worried that this may spread. I don't know whether I don't know whether it's waterproof or water fast or whatever, and I won't be washing this, so I'm going to leave those like that, and I'm going straight on to embroidery and applique. So I'm going to apply some fabrics to my my base. So I always think of cherry blossoms quite fluffy and light, and I just wanted to kind of pick up on that, really, the kind of fluffy little blossom pieces. So I've got this silk sari ribbon in all different types of pinks, and I've just grabbed some threads in the same kind of tones. I want to keep into the same kind of tone as these pinkish, there's a pinkish dusky pink there, so I don't want to go too bright or anything like that. So I'm going to, I might have that. I don't know which way around I'm doing my vase yet, but that's that. And then I've just picked up some greens as well. That there's a variegated and then a dark and a light. I don't know which ones I'm going to use, if any. I don't want to actually go over all of this. I want to keep some of the transfer visible. Because I really, to be honest, I like it like that. But I am going to add a little bit onto it. So I'm going to just pop my my square out the way, and I'm just going to get rid of this now as well, and pop that out the way. I don't need that. Right. So yes, the ribbon that I've got, the sari ribbon I've already just had a try to see if it will cut okay into circles, and it does. So what I am going to do is, I don't know whether it's going to work, but I'm kind of going to take a little pinch. I want to kind of take a little pinch. Can you see already? Can you imagine lots of those together? That would be fluffy cherry blossom. That's what I think anyway. So I'm going to grab a needle. Why didn't I get a needle ready? Right, my needles are here, and I'm just going to go with the lightest pink to start with. This is just a DMC, but you can also just use normal sewing thread, to be honest, sewing cotton. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on this flower here and just build up my flower. I don't know, I've got a thought, and that I could kind of cluster these together and make my blossom. So I'm going to have a go anyway. So I'm going to kind of fold it into quarters to 4 and just do a little stitch down here. Okay, I'm just going to take some of that excess length off where my knot was, and then I'm just going to goes out the way, just in the centre of the flower, somewhere in the centre of the flower, just go through and back up again, just to hold it in place. Okay, that's the first one. So I need some more. I think I used this one last time So I don't know whether to do different colours or same colour. These are actually hand dyed, so they are kind of variegated anyway. They've got quite a lot of colour. I think I'm going to stick to the one. I might put a little bit of this on. Let's try this one. So all I did to make my circle was just take a snip and just basically go all the way around. I didn't measure, I didn't draw. It wasn't perfect, but I just took the edges off just to make it into a kind of a circle. So can you see that? It's hard to do. It's because it's creased. I can't. It's kind of a circle, but not quite. So again, just fold it into quarters. And then, because I've already got my needle threaded and everything, it's underneath, I'm going to come back up. And in my corner bit, I'm just going to do a couple of stitches. It might be easier just to finish off and start again. I don't know. We'll see how we get on. Okay. And once it's folded out, it looks like cherry blossom. It will do. Let's go back out. And then once more, just to make sure it's all secure. And then I'm going to come back up just ready for the next piece. I don't know how many pieces I'll need, but I'll know when it's finished. I'll know when it's done. Okay, so let's go back to this pink. I mean, I might have made it easier on myself to iron this, but I wanted it all kind of crinkly. Because that's what the cherry blossom is like, isn't it? When it first comes out, it's all kind of crinkly. Like, can you remember, for those of you who were old enough, in the 80s, 1981, when Lady Di got married, Princess Diana, and all her dress was made of silk, and it was, she got out of her carriage, and it was all crinkly and everything, and I thought it looked lovely, but it was always said that it wasn't the right fabric to use because it was so creased up, but I thought it looked lovely. It's kind of the same as cherry blossom. When it comes out, it's all crinkly. Back in. To move my scissors out of the way because I'm catching on them. Okay, let's have a look. Let's try and fluff them up a little bit and see how they look. I'm also going to, I think, put some beads inside. Right, I'm going to do another one because it needs more fluff. More. Okay, so get the next one done. There we go. Get the corners out and fold. There's probably an easier way. I've just had a thought. I could just take a length and I've just had a thought. I don't know. It might not be the best way. I don't know. I've just had a thought. If I could take a length, let me do this one. I'll just show you what I was thinking. And then kind of running stitch down the edge and then pull it all together. What would that do? Now that I've started this, I don't kind of want to go into another way of doing things, but because I think that looks nice. But I was just thinking, if I did a running stitch all the way around like that and then took it round, would that make one as well? It probably would, but I quite like it. I like it like this. That's another one. I've just got to go and secure that one more time. If I can remember which one it was. Oh dear. I think it's this one here on top. Okay. I think that's 4. How are we looking? What do you think? I think we need another one here. I'd do another one. All caught up. There we go. And fold it up again. So back through to that bit. And in. It's getting a bit more trickier now that there's more pieces in. You can't see them. You can't see the base, but I think that looks good. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to go down one more time. There, that's my first cherry blossom. Right, so while I've got my needle threaded still, I'm just going to carry on and I'm going to do some beading. All right, let's get rid of those little bits there. So I have my beads. I've got my bright one, but I think, although there's a pinky colour in there, I think there's 2. Right, let's get rid of those ones. Let's go for pastels. So in here, I'm sure we'll be able to find something that will look okay. Right, because this is a peachy pink, I think I'm going to go for the lighter colour over here. I don't want to be too obvious. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I don't know whether to do the middle of every single one, or let me just get into the middle of one and see what it looks like. I'm not having much luck. Right, I tell you what, let's get up into the top part and then go into the centre of this one. I think I'm in the centre of that one. Oh dear, my scissors cool. Right, so I'm into the centre of this one here, and I'm going to put a bead in. So I'm going to use these quite pale beads. I don't want anything too in your face. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. Let's see. I can always undo them. It is quite tricky to get into the middle of the folded up piece of silk. That one's in. Okay, so I want one over here. Let me see if I can get the needle up through that one. Okay. Ouch. Okay, let's try that one. Oops, a daisy. Somebody asked me, oh, I'm sorry, I've gone and just moved you. Sorry, right, we'll leave that bead alone. Somebody asked me the other day, I think it was yesterday, about beading needles. What needles do I use for beading? Now this needle is a milliner's needle. What number is it? It's, which one was it? it was one of these, and it was, all I know is that the 3 to 9, so it's probably somewhere in the middle of 3 to 9 I've gone, but I think all of them will go through. The beads that I use have got quite a big hole in the middle, so these are fine for that. But you can also buy proper beading needles that are really, really thin, which I have got somewhere, but I don't know whereabouts they are. But this milliner's needle is fine for that, for the ones that I use anyway. You sometimes get an odd one that's that you can't get your needle through, but that just goes back in the pot. That's quite a nice peachy colour as well, isn't it? I could have used that. I was kind of hoping that the beads would kind of spread the petals out almost, and I think it is actually, and it's holding them down a little bit. And I don't mind, like I say, I'm going to keep some of the blue anyway. I just like the effect it makes. So I'm definitely not hiding everything. But the beads that I've used so far, they are spreading the petals out, so I think I've got 2 more to do. I'm going to turn it around a little bit because I think this is one here. But I need to open out my petals and pop it in the middle of the petal. I'm just worried now you're not back. I'm just going to check that you're still in focus, I think, because I would hate for me to have knocked you too far over and you can't see. I'm really sorry about this. Right, I'm sorry about that. If you saw my Heath Robinson contraption that I've got holding my iPad up filming, you'd laugh. It's I haven't got a proper stand, so I've had to make do with I don't even know how to describe it. You know, if you're using a hoop, and you can get these contraptions that kind of fit in between your legs and go up, so they hold the hoop. It's not a floor standing one, it's a tabletop, or you put it under you kind of put it under your leg and it holds your hoop when you're doing stitching that way. So it's one of those, and it's got a book clamped to it instead of like a hoop. If you imagine a large book, it's got that clamped to it, and then my iPad is sitting on the book, and then to balance the weight, I've got a massive book, needlework book at the bottom with a massive jar of buttons weighing it down. And that's my Heath Robinson attempt at an iPad stand. I need to invest in one, but I haven't got one at the moment. I just need to get around to it. But yeah, so I'm sorry about knocking you and doing all that, but I need to be more careful. I think I need one more in the centre of this one here. I think there's one here. I'm going to try and grab hold of that one and go up there. I think it's there. If it's not, that's getting a bead anyway. I'm sure I counted 5 and this will be the 5th bead, I think. Unless I've been talking and I've not been paying attention properly. Oops, must be some knots or workings there. Ouch. Okay, so that's my last bead. I should really do them twice just to keep them. Oh, look at that, it's gone straight through. I would not be able to do that again if I tried. Righty ho, so that's a flower. I'm just going to finish off just for a second. I'm just going to pop my beads away. Right, okay, so there we go. Oh, that looks really pretty. I like that. So that's one of my cherry blossoms. So what to do next? I'm going to do a couple of leaves. So I'm going to stay on this one, and I'm going to get some. I've got a variegated, I've got a dark, or I've got that. What I'm going to do is just get my pot back so I can just make sure that these go. I think those two, excuse me. Right, so I am going to do, I quite like the dark. I'm going to use the dark. This is not anything, I don't know what this is. I got this in a job lot. It's not Anchor and it's not DMC. I don't know what it is. It says Trebler. Trebler. It says Trebler, whatever that is. I've not heard of those before, but I'm using it. So I would do if I could get it undone. Oh dear. Right, so that's one strand, but I think I'm going to double it up. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to stitch until I feel it's okay. I don't know what stitch to do. I don't know whether to do some outline ones. I think I might actually. Let's do an outline. So I think I'm going to do a split back stitch on this one. Just going to go all the way around the edge. Some places the ink hasn't took, so I'm just going to go where I think it should be. Like that. And then down the other side. I hope you're all well anyway and finding time to stitch. It's a dull old day here in Leicestershire. It's raining, very dull. It's not very cold, it's okay. Not cold yet, but it's been raining non-stop since yesterday. It's been quite heavy as well. The ground is sodden. Saw my little friend, the robin redbreast, today, hopping around the garden, having a little feed from the bird feeder. Oh, sorry about that. My phone rang while I was chatting away to you, and I could see it was my son. And whenever a child phones you, I don't know, you just you sometimes just need to answer it, don't you? So everything's okay. He just wanted some information. They're getting married later on this year, so they've got to go for their the interview type things and whatnot. So, but all good, all good. So back to sewing. I can't remember if I was saying anything beforehand. Right, so I've done the outside of the leaf, and I am now just going to go and do the little veins inside. I'm just following the lines of the ink, but like I say, I'm not going to do all of them because I want some. I like the ink. I want the ink to show through. And ouch. So that's that one done. Let's do more stitches. That one, and another one up here. Okay, so that's done. That's all I'm going to do for that one. There are, let me just finish off my thread on this. Okay, I'm just going to, where did I put my transfers? I'm just going to refer to my transfers. I think it's that one, isn't it? All right, it's just some little spokes. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know whether they were leaves as well. Oh, there's 3 leaves there. 1, 2, and there's one down here. Oh yeah, I can see it now. It's there. I didn't realise there was one there as well. So, I'm just going to do a couple of the spokes. I want to say spokes. I don't know, stems maybe. I don't know what they are, to be honest. What have I done there? I think they're just the stems maybe. I'm just going to pull that too tight. That one there is a little bit curved, so I'm just going to couch it, just put a little stitch to manipulate it over a little bit to make it curved as well. And that one there. That's about my thread finished on that one, so I'm just going to finish that off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stay with the same colour. And oops, what have I done there? Got a little bit of fraying. Right, so what I'm going to do on this one here, start on this one, and I'm going to do fern stitch. So you go up at the top of the leaf and go down a little bit. And then you go to each side and back up where you ended your first stitch. Because I've doubled my thread, it's just it's not gone level. Oh, there we go. try that again. I'm just going to, when I have trouble with my thread, I've got some wax. Sometimes just a little bit of wax helps. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. Just heard the little dog of ours, Maggie Moo, has just opened the pantry door. I've just heard her. Oh, she's such a naughty little doggy. She knows it's about lunchtime, although she has got food. She likes human food too much. I do like this stitch. I think it looks lovely on the leaf. So what I'm going to do with these leaves, I'm going to do some outlined, some like this, and some I'm just going to leave the leaves alone. Leave the leaves alone. Just what I feel like. I don't know. And just as I go along, I'll know, I think, hopefully, which ones I want to do and which ones I want to leave. Leave the leaves. So there we have it. That's that one done. So just go back in there. There we go. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'm going to carry on doing my little fluffy flowers, which I love. I think they look great, and the leaves and whatnot. And then I'll be back to do the next piece on my collage / Botanical Beauties project. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that. And let's put the plant pot back. There you go. Not the plant pot, the vase back. I don't know which way I'm going to have it yet. Don't know. Quite like it that way, actually. Something like that, anyway. So there you go. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, take care. Bye bye.